Act 1, Scene 4 of Romeo and Juliet from No Fear Shakespeare. We are on page 63. Romeo, Mercutio, and Benvolio enter dressed as maskers, along with 5 or 6 other maskers carrying a drum and torches. So here we're introduced to Mercutio, who is also related to the Prince of Verona. He is Romeo and Benvolio's best friend. These two are kind of like, 3 musketeers, 3 best friends, right? They do everything together. So we're meeting Mercutio, and he's probably my favorite character in the entire play. He's brought in as comic relief, and he is just as funny as the nurse. Romeo says, "What will we say is our excuse for being here? Or should we enter without apologizing?" Remember, they're at the feast that the Capulets are throwing, and Mercutio was invited, so he's trying to kind of sneak his buddies in. Benvolio says, "It's out of fashion to give a lengthy explanation like that. We're not going to introduce or dance by having someone dress up as Cupid, blindfolded and carrying a toy bow to frighten the ladies like a scarecrow. Nor are we going to recite a memorized speech to introduce ourselves. Let them judge us however they please. We'll give them a dance and then hit the road." So Benvolio is like, I'm not down for all this nonsense. Like, I want to go in here just to get Romeo's mind off of Rosaline, and then I'm like, peace. He's wanting to get out of there before he's caught. Romeo says, "Give me a torch. I don't want to dance. I feel sad, so let me be the one who carries the light." "No, noble Romeo. You've got to dance." "Not me, believe me. You're wearing dancing shoes with nimble soles, and my soul is made out of lead, and so it keeps me stuck to the ground, so I can't move." Now here is a amazing pun. Remember, these puns are plays on words. And Romeo's given a great pun of the word soul. He's referring to the sole of shoes versus his actual soul. "You're a lover. Take Cupid's wings and fly higher than the average man. His arrow has pierced me too deeply, so I can't fly high with this cheerful feathers, because this wound keeps me down. I can't leap any higher than my dull sadness. I sink under the heavy weight of love." So again, he's being like super crybaby here, moping around over this Rosaline. "If you sink, you're dragging love down. It's not right to drag down something as tender as love." Is love really tender? I think it's rough, too rude, too rowdy, and it pricks like a thorn. If love plays rough with you, play rough with love. If you prick love, then it pricks you. You'll beat love down. Give me a mask to put my face in, a mask to put over any other mask, my other mask. What do I care if some curious person sees my flaws? Let this mask, with its black eyebrows, blush for me. They put on their masks. And he's referring to here, this is another pun when he's talking about putting the mask over the other mask. This goes back to even Greek philosophers who say that every day we wear a mask, a figurative mask, not a literal mask, hiding our inner selves. When we come to school and we pretend like we're happy, but at home there's a lot of stuff going on, divorce, parents divorced, or dad lost his job or something. We go through stuff every day, but most of the time when we come to school or work, we hide it with a mask. The smile that hides everything that we're going through at home. That's what Mercutio is talking about. He's going to put on his literal mask for the party to hide his face, his mask that he wears every day. "Come on, let's knock and go in. The minute we get in, Let's all start dancing, says Benvolio. Remember, he's just here to party. He's not trying to get all into this love nonsense. I'll take the torch. Let playful people with light hearts dance. There's an old saying that applies to me. You can't lose if you don't play the game. I'll just hold a torch and watch you guys. It looks like a lot of fun, but I'll sit this one out. Hey, you're being a stick in the mud. You're being a stick in the mud. As cautious as policemen on night patrol. If you're a stick in the mud, we'll pull you out of the mud. I mean, out of love. If you'll excuse me for being so rude. Were you stuck up in your ears? Come on. We're wasting precious daylight. Let's go. No, we're not. It's night. So Romeo's like, dude, chill out. I'm not wasting daylight. It's night. I mean, we're wasting light of torches by delaying, which is like wasting the sunshine during the day. Use your common sense to figure out what I mean instead of trying to be clever or trusting your five senses. And they're not really actually getting into an argument here. Remember, these guys are like 16. They're just joking back and forth with one another, giving each other a hard time. Romeo says, we mean well by going to this masquerade ball, but it's not smart of us to go. Why, may I ask? I had a dream last night. So did I. Well, what was your dream? My dream told me that dreamers often lie. They lie in bed while they dream about the truth. Oh, then I see you've met or have been with Queen Mab. Who's Queen Mab? Benvolios comes out of nowhere, butting in. She's the fairy's midwife. She's no bigger than a stone on a city councilman's ring. She rides around in her wagon drawn by tiny little atoms, and she rides over men's noses as they lie sleeping. The spokes of her wagon are made of spiders' legs. The cover of her wagon is made of grasshoppers' wings. The harnesses are made of the smallest spider webs. The collars are made out of moonbeams. Her whip is a thread attached to a cricket's bone. Her wagon driver is a tiny bug in a gray coat. He's not half the size of a little round worm and comes from a finger of a lazy young girl. Her chariot is a hazelnut shell. It was made by a spinter squirrel or an old grub worm. They've made wagons for the fairies as long as anyone can remember. In this royal wagon, she rides every night through the brains of lovers and makes them dream about love. She rides over the courtiers' knees and they dream about curtsying. She rides over lawyers' fingers, and right away they dream about their fees. She rides over the ladies' lips, and they immediately dream of kisses. Queen Mab often puts blisters on their lips because their breath smells like candy, which makes her mad. Sometimes she rides over courtier's lips, and he dreams of making money off of someone. Sometimes she tickles a priest's nose with a tied pig's tail, and he dreams of large donations. Sometimes she rides over a soldier's necks, and they dream of cutting the throats of foreign enemies, of breaking down walls and ambushes, of Spanish swords and enormous cups of liquor. And then drums beat in his ear, and he wakes up. He's frightened, so he says a couple of prayers and goes back to sleep. She's the same Mad who tangles the hair of horses' manes at night and makes the tangles hard in the dirty hairs, which brings bad luck if they're untangled. Mab is the old bag who gives false sex dreams to virgins and teaches them how to hold a lover and bear a child. She's the one. Enough, Mercutio, be quiet. You're talking nonsense. True. I'm talking about dreams, which are the products of a brain that's doing nothing. Dreams are nothing but silly imagination. as thin as air, and less predictable than the wind, which sometimes blows in the frozen north and then gets angry and blows south. Now, this might seem like a bunch of gibberish that Mercutio is saying, but he's not. What he's saying here is Romeo, firstly says, I had a dream. And Mercutio says, yeah, and dreamers often lie. Dreams lie to you. And Romeo says, no, they lie in our heads. This is another pun. And tell us the truth. So Mercutio goes on to tell him about Queen Mab, who is this fairy. And he says she makes young girls dream of kisses, and soldiers dream of war, and lawyers dream of fees or money, and a priest dream of a large donation. What he's saying here is that we dream of whatever is on our mind already, whatever we are and we're used to. If you're a priest, you would like a large donation for your church or cathedral. If you're a young girl who's never been married, you are dreaming about the kiss of someone that you have a crush on. And that's what he's saying. He's saying, man, we can't really listen to what our dreams are, because all our dreams are telling us whatever our mind is on. If your mind's on money, you're going to dream about money. He's saying, don't take these dreams so serious. Benvolios says, the wind you're talking about is blowing off of our course. Dinner is over, and we're going to get there too late. I'm worried we'll get there too early. I have a feeling that this party tonight will be the start of something bad, something that will end with my own death. But whoever's in charge of where my life is going can steer me wherever they want. Onward, lover boys. Beat the drum. They march off the stage and exit.